You think your dog is hiding because they're scared of loud noises or strangers, but that's not the whole story. Have you ever crouched down, calling their name over and over, only to watch them melt further away? That moment feels like failure. It feels personal. But what if I told you hiding is often a message, not just fear, and 3 simple shifts can make your dog choose you instead of the corner?
Most people treat hiding like a problem to fix quickly. They grab treats, they force eye contact, or they punish the space. Those reactions actually confirm the dog's worst belief, that the world is unsafe and that retreating is the only option. That's why your dog may seem to retract deeper each time. They're learning avoidance. They're learning that the safest thing is to vanish.
So first, understand what's really happening in their brain. Dogs run on 3 engines: instinct, emotion, and learned experience. When something feels threatening, the instinct engine flicks on fight, flight, freeze. Hiding is freeze with a survival strategy. Make yourself small, make yourself invisible. Emotionally, that freeze is connected to past outcomes. If previously hiding led to being forced out or overwhelmed, the dog learns hiding is the only way to reduce stress. Behaviorally, the escape gets reinforced. They hide, stress drops, the action is rewarded. It's simple psychology, but it creates a heavy bond between the dog and the hiding behavior, a habit that feels safe to them and helpless to you.
Here's the thing many owners miss. Hiding is communication. Not just, I'm scared, but I don't trust the solution you're offering. Your dog is testing whether you will become a predictable, safe person or another source of panic. They measure tone, proximity, eye contact, and whether your presence brings calm or chaos. If you've ever barged into their den with bright lights, a loud voice, or frantic grabbing, you've taught them that your help is part of the threat.
Now I'll give you the 3 things to change, precisely step by step, so your dog will stop hiding and start choosing you again. Do them in order, do them consistently. Each one rewires their expectation a little more. Thing 1, learn to be the safe option through low-energy approach and predictable routines. Walk slower, lower your voice. Avoid direct looming over the dog. Instead of saying come repeatedly, use a soft name cue once, then sit 5 feet away and watch them. Let them decide to approach. This creates a new association. Your presence equals calm, not pressure. Pair this with predictable routines. If your dog knows that certain times mean gentle petting, short walks, or quiet treats, their world gains predictability. Predictability reduces the brain's default to hiding. Over days, they'll choose approach because the math in their head changes. Proximity to you now equals steady relief, not sudden stress.
But there's a layer most owners skip. Micro rewards that aren't food. A slow blink, a silent hand on the ground, turning your body slightly sideways so you're not looming. These are social signals that in dog language say, I'm not a threat. Use them. They're subtle, they're powerful, and they teach your dog that you understand how to be gentle on their timetable.
Thing 2, build small wins with controlled choices. Let them practice bravery without pressure. Set up tiny approach games. Begin with the dog's chosen safe spot and sit across the room doing something calm, reading, scrolling your phone, sipping water. Every time the dog moves even a few inches towards you, give a brief, joyful acknowledgement, a 1-word praise, a 2-second pet, a treat on the floor if needed. Not 5 treats, not a parade, just a crisp, positive reinforcement that marks the choice. Make the steps microscopic. If your dog used to hide for hours, expect their first approach to be 2 inches. Celebrate it. The brain shortcuts to this is good when an action leads to immediate, gentle reward. Increase distance or demands in tiny fractions across sessions. Keep sessions short and happy. The key? Choice. When the dog is choosing movement toward you, they're practicing trust. And trust is retrained in tiny, repeated choices.
There's a twist here many miss. Alternate rewards. Make some approaches rewarded with a quiet spoken yes and touch, others rewarded with a low-value toy, and sometimes no reward at all except your calm smile. Why? Because predictability plus variability keeps motivation high without turning approach into a vending machine expectation. Your dog learns approach is worth it, even when food isn't guaranteed.
Thing 3. Change the environment so hiding loses its value. Make the safe spot accessible, not sanctuary. If hiding works because it's secluded and soft, change the context. Open up the space gradually. If your dog hides under a bed or behind a couch, remove the curtain of mystery. Prop the door open slightly, block off small crawl spaces safely, or turn the bed skirt up so there's a shallow shelter rather than a full escape. Don't force them out. Instead, create an inviting alternative. A low, comfortable mat in a visible spot with your scent on it, a quiet chair nearby where you sit at times, a covered corner that's intentionally safe but not isolating. This revalues the environment. Hiding should no longer be the only route to calm. When the safe spot is accessible and valued, your dog will migrate there deliberately. Their brain updates. I can be calm and still be seen and connected. That update is the turning point.
Now pause, because there's a crucial psychological trick tying all three together. Consistency plus unpredictability in rewards equals trust that lasts. Be consistent with your low-energy approach and routine. Be slightly unpredictable in rewards. This mirrors how social bonds form in nature. Safe predictability mixed with occasional positive surprises. Let me be blunt. Avoid two typical errors that undo everything. 1. Rescuing with frantic energy. If you sprint and scoop, you're teaching them hiding is a cue for chaos. 2. Punishing the hiding location. Scolding a dog when you find them hidden teaches them to hide better, not to trust you. Both lead to deeper hiding and a heavier problem. If you're wondering what to do when your dog refuses to budge at all, start even smaller. Sit near the hiding spot without looking. Read aloud in the calmest tone you can manage. Drop a tiny treat where they can sniff it from the edge. Don't reach. Let them come. Track progress in inches and minutes. If there was fear tied to a specific event, fireworks, a new person, a vet trauma, pair these sessions with counter-conditioning. Soft noise in the background at extremely low volume, gradually increasing only when your dog remains calm, always ending before they show stress. That way, their nervous system learns that the once scary stimulus predicts calm instead of chaos. Every 20 to 40 seconds in your day, open a curiosity loop with your dog. Try this. Pause and ask, what happens if I sit quietly for 5 minutes? Then watch. Small experiments produce massive shifts because dogs respond to patterns. Be the experimenter, not the emergency. Midway through this process, do a soft call to action with the viewer. If this is changing how you see your dog, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next small change that builds huge trust. Back to the deeper stuff. Why does this reframe work emotionally? Because hiding is rooted in attachment. Dogs form bonds like children. When they withdraw, they're testing attachment security. Your calm, predictable behavior signals safe attachment. Your frantic rescue signals inconsistency. Your punishment signals abandonment. That's why these three changes rewire not only behavior, but the emotional bond. Low-energy approach establishes safety. Micro-choice building creates agency. Environment changes remove the illusion that hiding equals survival. The result is a dog who chooses you because they expect comfort, not coercion. There's one final insight most owners don't realize. Dogs will sometimes hide to protect you. If your dog senses your own stress, they may withdraw to reduce their stimulation and avoid mirroring your anxiety. So part of this rebuild is your inner work. Lower your breathing rate, soften your shoulders, make your voice a calm anchor. They watch you for cues. Your calm becomes a permission slip for them to re-enter the world. Imagine, months from now,
Your dog no longer vanishes at the first sign of trouble. They duck to the couch but glance at you and come. They tuck into a mat near your feet instead of a dark corner. They choose proximity more often than escape. That's not magical obedience. That's a rewired expectation. Your presence is predictable, your responses are gentle, and the world has become less threatening because of your steady actions.
Here's a short, everyday routine to practice starting today. Morning, sit quietly near their bed for 3 minutes before you move. Afternoon, 5 tiny approach games. 2 inches forward, praise, back off. Evening, place a comfort mat in a visible spot and hang out there for 10 minutes. Small sessions, daily repetition. No pressure. Track progress. Minutes spent out versus minutes hidden. Celebrate micro wins. If you slip, that's okay. Dogs forgive humans who try. The rule is to restart the calm, not escalate. Lower your energy, reset the routine, and begin again. Consistency beats intensity every time. Your dog hiding is less about escape and more about a conversation you haven't learned yet. When you change the way you approach, when you hand them back tiny choices, and when you alter the space to remove the only safe option of vanishing, you don't just stop hiding, you rebuild trust. You reclaim your role as someone who doesn't rescue with chaos, but who offers steady safety. Your dog isn't just behaving, they're communicating. Listen with patience. Move with intention. Let them choose you again.